to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Don't be scared if you don't fit in. Look who's in the reject bin. It's the Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls.
Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls
Raggy
are
Dolls.
happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me. It was the morning of Christmas Eve. The Raggy Dolls woke up early. There was a brightness in the air, and when they looked out of the window, they saw that it was snowing. Great white flakes floated down from the sky and settled. First the snow lay like a thick white sheet over everything. Then it became a thick white blanket. It lay along the twigs and branches. It gathered on the tops of walls and windowsills. The bushes were covered in it, and Mr. Grimes' delivery van, parked in the factory yard, looked like a huge white tortoise. "Isn't it exciting?" exclaimed Princess.
"No," said Sad Sack. "It's freezing cold."
"Oh, buck up," snapped Dotty. "Where's your spirit of adventure? Let's go tobogganing." "Fantastic idea," agreed Hi-Fi.
"Dangerous, if you ask me,"
muttered Sad Sack. But no one paid him any attention. "We'd better wrap up warm," said Dotty. So they all put on boots and gloves and scarves. Back to Front found some sacking in the workshop, which he cut up in squares for overcoats, and they used string for belts. "That'll keep out the cold," said Dotty. "We all look like Sad Sack now," giggled Lucy.
"Yeah, Sacky Dolls, not Raggy Dolls," chuckled Back to Front.
"Now all we need is a toboggan," said Dotty.
"We haven't got one, so that's that,"
thought Sad Sack. But Hi-Fi borrowed a tray from the canteen. "Allons, let us go," said Claude impatiently. He couldn't wait to start tobogganing. "That is what they do in France, you know, in the Alps," he explained. "Winter sports, it's called," said Dotty. "Come on, chaps." "Where are we going?" asked Lucy. "Rose Hill," said Dotty. "It is not the Alps, but it is the highest hill in these parts," agreed Claude. Hi-Fi, Back to Front, and Claude carried the toboggan tray between them.
"I just hope somebody knows how to toboggan,"
thought Sad Sack. He turned his head this way and that. Wherever he looked, it looked the same.
Snow, snow, and more snow. I wish I was back in bed.
The other Raggy Dolls were enjoying their adventure. "Up, up, up we go, trudging onwards through the snow," sang Princess. Rose Hill was very steep, and the snow had covered all the paths, but no one minded, except Sad Sack. "I could go on forever," thought Lucy. Her cheeks were glowing, and her eyes shone with fresh air and exercise. The Raggy Dolls marched uphill, up and up, climbing higher all the time. At last, they reached the top. "Here we are, well done," said Dotty. They all stopped and looked around. The snow was falling thick and fast now. It was difficult to see anything clearly. Their sacking overcoats were crusted with snow, which made them look like snowmen. "Oh, what fun!" cried Princess. "Yes, we're snowy dolls," giggled Lucy. "Let's get on with the tobogganing," said Hi-Fi. They all climbed onto the tray and made sure it was pointing in the right direction, down the steepest slope. "Get ready! Get steady! Go!" shouted Dotty, and Back to Front shoved off. Whee! cried all the Raggy Dolls as they raced down the slope. The tray gathered speed. Faster and faster. Sad Sack shut his eyes and hoped for the best. He felt quite seasick. Whee! Down, down, and down they raced. "Watch out!" screamed Lucy. There was a tree ahead. "Lean over!" cried Dotty. So they all leaned, and the tray swerved round the tree and rushed on. There was no way of stopping it now. Down, down, down. Now all the Raggy Dolls felt seasick. Would they ever stop? The Raggy Dolls opened their eyes and saw that they had landed in a big snowdrift near some gates. Only half the railings were showing above the snow, but through them they saw a big house with lighted windows. "It's Rose Hill Hospital," said Dotty.
I could do with a nice warm bed and a bit of nursing myself, thought Sad Sack.
At that very moment, Matron was looking out of her window. Mr. Grimes had promised to send a parcel of toys for her children's ward in time for Christmas, but they hadn't arrived yet. Matron picked up the telephone and heard Mr. Grimes's voice on the other end.
"Hello, is that Rose Hill Hospital? I'm afraid, due to circumstances entirely outside of my control, the van has been unable to make any deliveries today. There's thick snow everywhere. We'll have to wait until the roads are clear. I'm ever so sorry."
"I quite understand," said Matron. "But the children will be very disappointed," she thought, sadly. She looked out of the window again and shielded her eyes against the glare of the snow, because there, on the other side of the gate, she thought she saw... It can't be, but it looks ever so like... Well, there's no harm in going to see, she thought. So she put on her warmest clothes and trudged through the snow. And there, of course, were the Raggy Dolls. A miracle, a real miracle, thought Matron. Some kind person has left their old toys here for the children. How thoughtful! What Christmas spirit! The Raggy Dolls were soon indoors warming up on the radiator. When they were dry, Matron took them to the children's ward. She gave Dotty to a girl with spots. She gave back to front to a boy who had his leg in plaster after falling downstairs. Hi-Fi sat on the pillow beside a girl who listened to pop music all day long. Sad Sack was given to a baby who had just had a big operation and couldn't stop crying. But when she saw Sad Sack, she couldn't stop giggling.
I don't see what's so funny, thought Sad Sack.
A week later, there was a big thaw, and all the snow melted away as quickly as it had come. Mr. Grimes sent his delivery van straight to Rose Hill Hospital with a huge box of toys for the children's ward.
"Better late than never," he explained over the telephone. "New Year's greetings to Rose Hill Hospital from Grimes's Toy Factory."
The children were so busy unwrapping their new toys that they never noticed when the Raggy Dolls quietly slipped away. In no time, they were safely hidden under an old tarpaulin in the back of the van. It was like being in a dark tent. "Let's all make New Year's resolutions," said Dotty. "I shall try to be less bossy in future. Your turn, Sad Sack, and don't take forever."
I've got two, said Sad Sack. The first one is never to go tobogganing again. And secondly, I'm going to try very hard to be just a little bit more cheerful from now on. Oh, look, we're home.
It's not much of a life when you're just a pretty face. Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Look around and you will find people of every kind, like a raggy doll,
Raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
dolls like you and me. Raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
raggy dolls,
raggy dolls.
made imperfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers are all fuzz, stand on your two left feet and join our raggy doll chums. 'Cause raggy dolls,
Raggy dolls,
raggy dolls
raggy
are
dolls.
happy just to be raggy dolls, dolls like you and me.